The real estate available to us is incredible. The driving experience is actually on par with what I've experienced with most adventure boats. And the price compared to the boat you get is absolutely insane. So ladies and gents, my name's Dan Jones, you're watching Dan's Boat Life. Welcome to Brazil and welcome to the very first tour and test of the Schaefer V44. Pay attention to this roof design. This is the boat for you. It really can do that. I love, love, love. Yeah, this is nice. This is lovely. And yes, we will be going for a super fun test drive, guys. So if you are looking for a driver's boat, as well as a sexy med-style lunch-a-lot day boat, this is definitely it. Keep watching. That's going to be a separate video. I'll link to that at the end of this demonstration. I'm also making another video on top of that, just for my Patreons. The areas which I would say, some of them could be a compromise, or some of them just could be areas for you to think about. If you're a serious buyer, that's the video you want to watch to get ideas and suggestions. But yeah, I'm in love with this thing. So let's talk about the back so far. We're running triple 400 V10 Mercs. I think these engines are going to be perfect for most of you. We did 44, 45 knots top speed. I tested it before today with 12 blokes on board, and we still got that speed. And cruising around at 30 knots, fast cruise, mid-30s is absolutely no problems. So that's the option with the outboards. Yes, you can go in close to the sand, all that sort of thing if you so choose. But if you're in the Mediterranean and you want the bigger transom platform, which would therefore come all the way out to here, that's your inboard diesel. So it's going to be 2 engines, not 3. And we're going to have stern drive or IPS option. So just imagine all the extra real estate you're going to have out here. You're probably going to lose this ski pole, which is also a little bit of a safety bar, to be fair, and you'll just gain all this extra space out here. So just picture that, and you do you, but the boat has been designed for weight and balance for both engine setups. I checked with the design team. They do actually shift the location of the weight in terms of the fuel and water tanks down below to suit each one, so you have a perfect driving experience if that's important to you. So anyway, out the back here, we've got the swim ladder on the port side. Boom, boom. That's a 4-step swim ladder, just hinges out, pretty easy to get in and out of the water. We've got our pop-up cleats on here, and wrapping around the boat, we've got a rubber fender, so you can utilize it for pulling up to the dock. This boat does have quite a nice paint job, so I would utilize extra fenders, which are stored in here, which I'll get to in just a sec, because this is one of the features I absolutely adore on this thing. You can literally have 10 people and still feel like you've got space for another 10. The boat feels so spacious. So if you are someone who's come from an adventure boat, if you've come from something in your 35, 37, 40 feet, and you like that go fast experience, you like the expanding your horizons, being able to go from A to B fast, cut through chop, all that sort of thing, and you understand all those activities that you can achieve in a day, but you don't have enough space, but you want more people sitting around a table, or you just want to take more friends, this is the boat for you. It really can do that. The amount of space that we have here feels like what you achieve on 55-foot boats. I've been on 55-foot sailing yachts and motor yachts that don't have this much usable space in this area. I'm also talking to you guys, the motor and sailing yacht owners who love to do your long lunch on your big boat, and you now perhaps think that thing is too big and difficult to manage. This may also be an option for you, so just consider that. Anyway, back into the details. The sun lounge here, we've got multifunctional sun lounge. You see this on a lot of med style day boats. So the cushions at the moment are like this. Great for lounging, sunbaking and facing this direction. It also is a storage area underneath me. So that's accessible from forward and aft. Great for fenders and lines. That's on gas struts. We've got holders here for drinks, phones, bits and pieces just there. But these cushions will also move. So if you need extra space, you can do that for lounging. And then if you need a pillow, you can do that. So it's all built in. Just bring your beach towels, ready to rock and roll. Getting inside to the storage, that's the front access that I was just talking about there. So huge amount of storage, multifunctional for lounging. Just bring your beach towels. It's all ready to rock and roll. More storage is actually located in these wings. So underneath here, we have a deep locker. So you could do a few things with that. And for some of you who want to take kids on a boat like this, they will actually set it up with the safety rails, the drop-in safety rails when the wings are deployed. So that's an option. And if you did have that, those safety rails would store just in here. So you just pull them out when the wings are down and deployed, ready to rock and roll. So nice and easy. And the operation of those wings is just a safety and then up, down. You have to have your finger on the safety. It makes a beeping noise so nobody, you know, with little toes or fingers gets caught in there. So it's all good to go. So first social area, we could put 4 to 6 people along the back here, and then we can expand this lunch table, this teak lunch table here. It's also optional to get one of these as a drop down table. I assume that means it comes with a cushion, and turn this into an extra sunbed. So that's what you get there. And then when you fold it up, you get these extra grab handles just here and here, and drink holders. She's a very low center of gravity boat. We did beat through a few waves both today and the other day, and it's not the sort of boat that you're always needing to reach around and grab onto something. It's very, very smooth, but she will hook into a turn, hold it and go hard. So if you're driving like a race car driver, you're gonna notice it, and that's when your guests are gonna wanna hang on. Now, if you need sunshade out the back here, there is an optional electric deployable sunshade, which will just come out the back here. I don't know how far out it goes because I haven't actually seen it in practice yet, but I know that is an option. We haven't got it on this boat, but the actual roof, the solid roof, finishes just here. So from here forward, all these people are protected. And now I really do want to focus on this roof, because this is the direction where day boating is going. So if you're into this sort of thing, I think you need to pay attention. Look at the beam. Look how we have full beam protection. So for the Aussies watching, this is awesome. You have obviously a little bit of rain protection, but I suspect if you're the sort of person who's looking at this, you're just gonna go out on a sunny day, so you're more interested in the sun protection. But all of this space, walking meters and meters, 4.3 meters beam, 5 something meters with the wings down, is protected in shade. And then you even have a beautiful big flat screen TV that drops out from the middle here and then faces aft. So imagine that of an evening if you're watching sport or a movie. What a cool, I mean, right here where we are right now in this beautiful spot would be a great location. Listen to the birds and watch a movie of an evening. So that's kind of cool. So this seat here is currently facing aft. That's in the social mode like we see in lunch mode. But if you want to go fast and your guests feel more comfortable facing forward, that's all they have to do. Pretty simple. And they're going to be protected from sun and rain in this position, and even wind. I found driving at 35 to 40 knots on our first test, sitting on this seat, no necessity to lose my hat. Totally fine. That seat, different story. You do have some wind vortices just there, but for the girls thinking about your hair and all that sort of stuff, this seat fine, that seat absolutely no problems at all. And I'll continue talking about the roof when we get there, because it's a full roof. There's no gap. And that's why we didn't have that air flowing through, wanting to blow our hats off. So before we get there, some nice mood lighting, super bougie. We've got a leather finish. I hope you can see that on the screen. So it goes from fiberglass surrounds, the down lights, which are conveniently located straight over the table, so you can see your food of an evening. We've got some speakers down over the table as well, and on either side on both of these uprights here, and then that's all complemented by this mood lighting. It's actually a gap in here, so it's indirect light. I think that's the right word. So it's going to be a real nice bougie environment. And then you get to the heart of the boat where all the food, drinks prep happens. So we've got a nice Korean bench top surrounded by grab handles, and this is a painted finished fiberglass, I'd say. And we've got the electric Kenyan Barbie just here. And then we've got, this is an optional cooler. So this one's in esky mode, but you can also get that optionally electric. And then you've got your sink just here. And I kind of like how they've hidden away the sink like that, because what you find, a lot of people when they get on a boat like this, everyone's got bags. They're going to have their big beach bags and their handbags. This is a good place to dump your bags down, pull out things that you're going to use for the day, and maybe stow them around the boat, and then take those bags and put them downstairs. So you just find it being a bit of a usable space, kind of works, so I like that. So we've got the fridge just under here, so that's just a standard isotherm. This is just a little storage area, I think, because this boat still hasn't been fully commissioned. I think that's going to be where the glassware is going to be. All the crystal glass is probably going to be plastic, but you get what I'm talking about. Now that is a proper ice maker. So we got, that's not got ice in it yet, but it will when it's turned on. We've got the gen set on this one. We can option them with a Seakeeper gyro, but right now we are exposed to some swells. So pay attention to the amount of rock we have on the boat. This is what you get without the gyro. So again, low center of gravity, lots of beam, 20 degrees of dead rise under the hull. She doesn't rock around too much, so just pay attention. Now, underneath me is the access to the service. So generator, gyro, if you have it, hydraulics, etc., is all located underneath here. You get access through this hatch here, and you just climb down the ladder. You need to make sure you put that up there, and then that just opens like so. And you go down the ladder, you can get into all your electronics, your fireboy system, everything's in there. And you could also utilize it for storing toys, inflatable toys, maybe even some short boards, like the foiling boards, as long as you take the fin off, could go down there. So that's an option. However, if you had long-term maintenance that needed to be done by professional mechanics, they have actually designed this whole area here to be removed. It's not bolted to the deck. Well, it is bolted to the deck, but it's not glassed to the deck, is what I was trying to say. And look, I forgot to talk to you about the swim shower. That's on the port side. That's kind of logical because the swim ladder is just there as well. That's where that's located. Okay, so let's make our way forward. Big stainless stoppers here, and there is a safety bolt that goes into these wings. So as part of the closing process, a bolt will come out of here and lock its way into the wing. So it ain't going nowhere, and it's perfectly secure to lean on and hang on at any time. Then we come forward and we've got this nice soft finish here. These seats also have storage underneath them in here. We've got life jackets in them at the moment, and you are going to need a few life jackets because this thing's rated to 14 people, 14, 15 people throughout the day. So that's a lot of people. In Australia, you'd probably be allowed to take even more if you're just in a raft up situation underway and overnight. It's obviously going to be less. Overnight, 4 people, you'll see that when we get there. Anyway, I'm so excited. I'm sort of darting all over the place. A little bit of storage on the side, and same again on the other side. Just want to let you know, this is not the final product. They've actually just finished this for me, for the test. Thanks, Schaefer. The final product is going to be a flush, slightly different design for this. I've just got to go do some more speedboating in Europe, so they did that for me just to get me on the water, so I appreciate that. Now, let's focus our attention on this helm area, and we'll finish the roof because a lot is going on. First thing, I really like the design of this seat. So it's 3 people we're catered to. Would actually be 4 if they were sort of moderately sized, but 3 big blokes would be fine. And we've got the individual flip-up bolsters. So we can do that. We can do that. We've got footrests. We've got 2 footrests there and there. And there is actually going to be a fold-out footrest for this person here, which is yet to be installed. So that's cool. The driver, he or she is at your own seat just here. That's the amount of space you've got at the helm, and the wheel is adjustable. And see how these footrests here and here are angled. If you are doing some sporty driving, you might find yourself wanting to use this one here, and then you can push your lower back into the seat and really enjoy the experience. This is a boat that you could do that on, and the speed and the angle of attack that this thing will maintain if you want to put it through the turns will be quite fun. You'll get a bit of enjoyment out of that. So we've got the throttles, you know, kind of in line with the wheel actually, but it all makes sense. It feels quite ergonomic. I've got all my systems in front of me. So I've got air conditioning, got the zip wakes just there, got the fireboy system just there, bilge pumps, that's going to be sports exhaust, got the 2 big flat screen Simrads, multifunctional displays, so you can have whatever you like on those just there. Windscreen wiper and washer is on their own individual buttons. It's a single large windscreen wiper and it's stainless steel, so that's nice and ergonomic there. Anchor operation, sorry, that's the anchor operation there. That's the anchor light. Holding tanks, lights, ambient lights, and one of the cool things is the sunroof. Look how quick that is. So you really can get some air in here, and look how much we've just changed the space. How awesome is that? What I like about this sunroof is that it's not glass, because the glass ones in Australia, it just lets more heat in than we need. So I feel like if I want the heat, just open the bloody thing. But if you don't, give me shade. So I like that. It's really nice. Doesn't rattle around. I've banged it through some waves, and look how quick that is. Woo, super easy. I'm going to leave it open because I think it looks cool. So more down speakers just here and here, and down lights. They can all be turned off for your night driving. And then we've got, finishing up on the dash, it's actually key starts under the wheel, VHF, joystick. We've got drink holders, phone holders, stereo, phone charging here. And then it's all wrapped in matte leather black. So that's going to not reflect back in your face. So on a sunny day, you can see what you're doing. And then pay attention to this roof design. I love, love, love that it's all been joined together. We don't have any gaps here. Gaps are great in nice weather. That's an enjoyable experience. But when the weather changes, it can suck a little bit. So that's great. We've just got a boat now that you can just pretty much use all the time. If it belts down with rain, you're not going to get wet. These glass pieces here are not the finished product. Again, this Schaefer did this for me to get the test. There's actually a full glass piece which is going to protrude out a little bit further and go in this corner here. I'm not sure whether the finished one's going to have this little edge on it, so we'll have to check. You'll have to check with your dealer with that, or I'll let you know when I find out. But again, those wind vortices were great. We were completely protected. Nobody's going to get wet, and everybody's going to stay warm and comfortable on both rows of seats here and there and enjoy themselves. So, subwoofer underneath me. I've got a fire extinguisher, space for a life ring just at the helm if that needs to be deployed. We've got mood lights or deck lighting all the way around, and our midship cleats, really, really accessible from the helm. And I appreciate how they have put the helm position off to starboard and the 2 guests on port. So if I'm driving and none of my friends actually know what they're doing, and I just prefer them to keep them out of the way, I can leave the helm and get to the cleat and get forward or go aft without interfering with any of my friends or having to squeeze past them. So from an operational perspective, this is great. My visibility is perfect. I'm protected from the cold wind. I can have the sun if I want. Like, a lot of things, a lot of thought has gone into this, which is really, really cool. So, drink holder next to the helm. I think I've covered all that. Let's make our way forward. This is where you see your first step. So up until now, the entire deck is flush. Nobody's going to be tripping over, and if anything, you're going to be falling into the water if you don't pay attention. So just make sure you've got your swimsuit on, your budgie smugglers. But you come up the 1 step, and then you go forward to the bow. This area here is actually for the carbon poles, I assume they're carbon, which are for the optional sunshade forward. So that's going to be a 4-pole setup, which then completes this whole area, which you're about to see in a second, if you want to put shade over this. I don't think this actual boat has those poles options, so we can't see the inserts where you put them into. But in terms of the safety height, nobody's falling over there, but you've got something to hang on to. Again, the boat doesn't really rock around. Another cool, sensible design feature is these straps. we can go 45 knots on this thing. So you turn into a 20 knot nor'easter at 45 knots, you've got 65 knots over the deck. So if you don't have something to hold down the cushions, that can be embarrassing. So what they have done, we've got a bolt rope on the leading edge here, which is zipped on, and then that's also emergency escape or airflow into the cabin below. And then we have these straps here, they're secured as well, and the aft cushions there are secured. So it ain't going nowhere, which is great. So girls, yeah, this is nice, this is lovely. And you know what? Girls, you could probably sit up here if you were just doing moderate speeds. Don't go full speed because your dresses will blow up, but this will be fine because the boat runs level and flat and you're not going to be blocking the skipper's view. Just be conscious of what wave conditions you're in because you don't want to be crossing Haul Over Inlet, for example, with an outgoing tide. Now that would be dumb. So, whilst we're here, we'll just quickly talk about what's on top of the roof. I don't see this as being a roof that you could put surfboards or stand-up paddleboards on with any great ease. You would probably have to add roof racks to facilitate that. So, you know, if that's a concern to you, just look at all of the available deck space and space we have down below. We'll look at that in a second for your surfboards or your stand-up paddleboards. Look, a stand-up paddleboard does make a lot of sense if you don't want to anchor this boat in the real shallow water and just swim in. That's probably a good way to get to shore. So have a think about that. The reason why I don't think you would just put a board straight onto that roof is because the sunroof is going to get in the way. I don't think it would be sensible to put weight on that sunroof. It's meant to go forward and back, and I don't think it's weight bearing. So just consider that. But we can see the all-round white lights, navigation, horn, looks like a TV, VHF, got the flag on the port side, and you can see how the wings or the sides of the roof protrude out to give us that extra space and protection from the shade. The other thing I forgot to mention, there's so much going on here, which I love, there is optional stairs. So if you've got a big boat and you're using this to get to your big boat and you want to come up side two, you can option this with drop down stairs just here. And as you go up, as you're elevating here, because of this roof design, you're not going to knock your head there, so it's okay. And this also is a good grab hold, but maybe you might want to consider adding just an extra stainless steel. Talk to your dealer if that's important to you. A couple of drink holders here, same on the other side. Making our way forward, lots of usable space here. I would even hang out and sit around here. You can probably get 4 to 6 people enjoying the afternoon sun up here. And just in here is our freshwater deck wash. We've got our space for more lines. The anchoring system, I go into more detail on this during the test drive video. It works very well, and then it hides out of the way for when we're going fast and looks cool. But you can option this bow area with teak if you're going to be picking people up off a fixed dock. So yes, if you just have this painted surface and it was wet, you might have a safety issue there from people slipping. So just think about that. If you are going to be nosing into some docks, just do that. Got the pop-up cleats here, got the rope protectors there, got more speakers up the front, teak all the way around. It's just gorgeous. And all the way around on the outside, we have this rubber fender, which has some functionality. It's not the biggest fender. I've seen bigger, but it does the job. So that combined with some actual fenders and some good driving from you is going to make your life a lot easier. So let's go and check out the interior and see what it's all about. So, sliding door, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 stairs, and they have got some grippiness on them, and you're down into little galley area, head to starboard, and this is the first thing I want to focus your attention on. It's currently in this comfortable U-shaped lounge setting. We've got full stand-up headroom for me at 5'7" and a couple inches above my head, and way more headroom for proper tall people in the main part of the boat. So this really is a boat that will cater to larger people. So this gives you somewhere to come down, enjoy the air conditioning, which is on right now, by the way, and we have got the genset running. So that's what you can hear. But here we can appreciate the views out on the water. So if we're lounging, watching a movie, having a drink, these windows up here, they don't have blinds on them, but just pay attention how you're not actually looking out onto the water from there. So that's just to let light in. Obviously we've got natural air if you don't want to have the AC, but there's no privacy issues there. If you need to have some privacy through these windows, they do have drop-down blinds. So that's what's going on there initially. Shallow storage underneath these seats, not really much to speak of. But the next option is, this is actually a ginormous bed and a proper private cabin. So this cushion behind me here will fold out, and you can see we've got the bed head just there with the 240 charging, the light switches, the reading lights, and the aircon control. And it's a proper large bed which can be used for an overnight. And you've even got the option to have some privacy by just utilizing this. We have this drop down curtain and the whole area becomes a private little cabin. So that's quite handy. But we've got the TV on here, storage lockers all the way around, got some shelving just in here. You've got places or ledges on either side of the bed to put things, air conditioning going forward here. Another, that's a deeper locker just there, little storage nook here, and then a proper little galley. So remember, we've got that barbecue station upstairs and it's the full alfresco dining situation. But if you had, say, a private chef who came out on the boat for you for the day, you could do that on a boat like this. We have so much space. The chef could come down here and do a lot of the food prep and then bring up the platters and serve them up there. Just imagine imagine your day. How cool would that be? We've got a couple of hot plates just there. It's a Kenyan. I don't know if that's induction or electric. And then we've got plate storage. These look movable behind me here, and more space for bits and pieces here. A deep stainless steel sink. That is rubbish just there, or trash as you would say in America. We've got another fridge just down here, so it's good for food. You probably put your drinks upstairs. We've got a drawer on this side just here, so that's good for your cutlery. Microwave, deep locker, little storage in there, which is probably good for boat manuals. And then all your systems wise, it's all of our batteries here, genset operation, the primary head unit for your stereo. We have another one or extra head units up on deck, and then your 240 12 volt and ship shore genset switch over, going from generator to shore power just there. So opening this door gets us into the head. Now the head's air conditioned, but you do have this big window here, so you can ventilate this area if necessary. But look, we have our own separate stand-up shower. I've got this feels like glass actually, very well constructed and secured with a leather strap in here, so it ain't going nowhere through the waves. Proper shower head just here, which is adjustable up and down, and then you got your faucet thing just there, and you can even sit down on this seat just here if you were having a shower underway. I don't know why you would on a boat like this. That's probably going to be unusual, but fancy loo setup. Got a little bin just there, lots of storage behind the sink, fixed mirror, and then more storage under the sink just there, toilet with a holding tank. So it's really everything you need. And it's, again, the head height in here is ginormous. For all you big blokes that comment about that needing the extra headroom, you're not going to struggle on this thing. There really is quite a lot of space. This carpet here is optional. You can have this fashion, or you can have like a normal woolen carpet that I saw in the factory. Both of them are quite comfortable underfoot. And then we come down here into the next accommodation space. So this is not standing headroom. It's currently set up in the twin single arrangement, but it is full beam. And so we are still looking out over the waters. And as you can see, even me, I can sit up in bed here. So a lot of people are going to be able to enjoy this space, come back, relax, read. It is all air conditioned. And on both sides, we've got these lockers. So I would suggest if you were going to overnight, again, I think that's going to be a very small percentage of you who are going to do that on a boat like this. If it was something you were considering doing, just bring a small duffel bag and you can put your bits and pieces in here and here. That one has actually got an AC unit inside it, but on the port side, it is storage. We do have the blinds, so you've got privacy. We've got this lovely leather finish, rounded edges everywhere. So if you were rolling around for whatever reason, that's the ice maker delivering us some ice for later on. If you were rolling around for whatever reason, you're not going to hurt yourself on any sharp edges, which is important. got our light switches overhead just here, so you don't have to get out of bed, and you can convert this into a big double. Plus, we've got the privacy screen, just as we saw forward, to turn it into a proper overnight boat for 4 people. How cool is that? So what did you think? I really like this boat. She's a winner, I reckon. Before I close, I just want to say a big thank you to you all. It's you guys watching, supporting, liking and sharing that's giving me these amazing opportunities. This is really one of the special ones to come to such a beautiful country and be the first to be able to give you access to such a cool boat. So keep it up. Love you lots. You're all legends. Thank you so much. And if you want to see how she drives, if you are someone that's had something like, say, an Axopar 37 and really appreciates the high performance capabilities of that boat, but you need more space now, then I believe this is worthy of your attention. If you've had a larger 55, even 60-foot motor yacht or even sailing yacht, I'm thinking Beneteau Oceanus, Jeanneau Sun Odyssey, something like that, and you still want to go do your long lunches, but you don't want all the management that those bigger boats entail, then this is something you should focus your attention on. And of course, if you're just looking for a beautiful med-style day boat, this is already that. So see you over in the next video. And then if you're also a serious buyer and you want to see what are some of the compromises, good, bad, and the ugly, that's a separate video over on my Patreon. I'll see you there.